In October 2010, fishing was added to Minecraft. However, there was one big problem. Fishing was really boring.
I think fishing's kind of boring. You sit, wait, and then right-click. There's no skill in the slightest.
Damn, fishing blows chunks.
I'm obsessed with fishing in other games like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley, but in Minecraft, it is probably the most bare bones, simplified fishing mechanic I've ever seen in a game, and it's just not fun.
No one likes fishing. You don't like it. I don't like it. Me and my homies all hate fishing. And this is why the community created AFK Fish Farms. Some players discovered that they could hold down their right click on an iron door, and if the door opened or closed, it would interrupt their right clicking and automatically reel in their fishing rod. By adding a tripwire hook to detect when the rod caught something, which then opened or closed the door, they've built the first AFK Fish Farm. A tripwire hook, some redstone, an iron door, followed by a chest, a hopper, and a water source. Honestly, this first design was already perfect. Or was it? In update 1.8, iron trapdoors were added to the game, replacing the iron doors of the fish farms, showing that they could still be improved, be more compact, better. And then in update 1.9, mending was added to the game, an enchantment that repaired the tools with XP, something that people who did actions that received XP would really like. And it was also an enchantment that could be obtained through fishing, something that people who fished would really like. Fishing allowed you to get one of the best enchantments, and mending allowed you to fish infinitely. So unsurprisingly, AFK Fish Farms spiked in popularity with the introduction of mending. A community of AFK fishermen was formed, kind of like how a community formed around my channel. So now I have to make a Discord server around it. Link in the description. Eventually, they caught the attention of Mojang themselves.
Excuse me, sir, but what exactly are you doing?
Oh, I'm using an AFK fish farm. It allows me to fish for treasure without having to actually fish.
Fish farm? Treasure? AFK? Fish? Having? Without?
With AFK Fish Farms becoming more and more popular, it was here that Mojang made their first move, removing the right-click actions from iron doors and trapdoors in patch 16W33A, breaking 90% of the designs. With iron doors and trapdoors nerfed, AFK Fish Farmers decided to use fences instead, which was followed by another nerf in a later snapshot, removing the ability for fences to be right-clicked as well. While Mojang's motives were unknown, their message was clear for everyone to see. AFK Fish Farms were the wrong way to play the game. It was a full-blown arms race between the two, with Mojang on one side and AFK Fishermen on the other. And currently, Mojang is dominating them.
Mojang.
People immediately took their warning seriously. Progress on AFK Fish Farms slowed down dramatically, and any new design was met with harsh rejection by the community. Nah, just kidding, they didn't give a single YouTube.
We only need one item to fix the farm. I have chosen the oak fence gate because you can't tell me what to do.
With iron doors and fences patched, players started using wooden trapdoors or fence gates, but they didn't use it for long.
Oh.
I wonder why. Mojang's ban on the fish farms backfired heavily. In trying to kill the fish farm, they've unintentionally pushed the community into creating even better designs. Because the next alternative that players went to were node blocks. It was a block that required right-clicking, making it unpatchable by Mojang. And on top of that, it could be completely silent. This restriction on iron doors and fences ironically pushed players to the perfect solution. And then on July 23rd, 2018, history would be made. A user by the name of Warburn would discover the iconic water, fence, and pressure plate layout. The smallest AFK fish farm in 1.13. Using the pressure plate's tiny hitbox, it casts the fishing rod and releases the bobber on top of the pressure plate, pressing it down. By right-clicking on the pressure plate first, this allows the player to hold right-click on armor stands or iron trapdoors like they used to. And when something gets caught, it pulls the bobber down, releases the pressure plate, interrupting the right-clicking and automatically reeling in your fishing rod. With this discovery, every piece was finally in place to make the perfect AFK fish farm.
And that is all of it. That's the entire fish farm done. It is so small and so easy to build, and it's so efficient.
Efficient! Chests, hopper, water, trapdoor, fence, note block, pressure plate. The AFK Fish Farm was perfected. Instead of relying on the pressure plate's hitbox, players have combined the iron trapdoor and the note block to create this design. By right-clicking the iron trapdoor, it casts the fishing rod and releases the bobber on top of the pressure plate, pressing it down. The pressure plate opens the trapdoor, allowing the player to hold their right-click on the note block. And when something gets caught, it pulls the bobber down, releasing the pressure plate, closing the trapdoor. The trapdoor interrupts your right-clicking, causing you to automatically reel in your fishing rod. This design was absolutely flawless. It literally could not be any better. It was the smallest, most efficient design possible. It could give you all the fish, junk if you wanted that for some reason, and treasure you wanted. Like, look at me using it for example. What's this? I've called a YouTube membership subscription. If you enjoy the video essays I make, consider joining my YouTube membership to support the channel. You won't get fishes, but you will get great treasures, like these cute emotes, as well as your name credited on every video. Thank you to all my recent members. With the design being perfected, everyone began to use the same design. Captain Owl, Sizuma Void, ShulkerCraft, multiple different creators, one consistent design. The AFK Fish Farm was starting to become popular again. Too popular. Even the Vanos crew started using it.
Right, so this is my auto fisher.
How do you have a power 4 and a power 3?
I caught them while fishing.
So this isn't cheating.
No, this is not cheating.
Okay,
Alright, so
This was a dangerous sight. The last time the fish farm got this much attention, it received 2 harsh nerfs from Mojang, back to back. And if its popularity keeps growing at its current rate, it is bound to happen again. However, given that it had been 4 years since the bite of 1.11,
Was that the bite of it?
maybe things were gonna be fine. As long as Mojang didn't notice, they had nothing to worry about. Mojang noticed. After taking down the zero-tick farms, Mojang set their sights on the AFK Fish Farms next. With their previous nerfs not working, this time they were going to go all out. A full-blown Mojang assault on AFK Fish Farms. They were going to wipe its existence off the face of the earth. And on 20W12A, Mojang finally responded. And they responded hard.
Yo, nice, I got a mending bug.
Yo! FBI, open up! Do the fishing permit for that!
Oh god, I gotta get out of here.
In 1.16, AFK Fish Farms received a massive nerf. Treasure loot was now locked behind a new criteria. It required players to fish in open waters, a 5x5 area around the bobber, with at least 2 layers of water and 2 layers of air. Nothing else. Any other block being present would immediately flag in open water to false. With the game constantly checking for this criteria, it genuinely seemed like AFK Fish Farm was finally dead. But beneath these ashes, there is more than just flesh. Beneath these ashes, there is an idea. And ideas are fire-proof. Escaping the Mojang assault was a talented creator by the name of Raceworks. He was tasked with the challenge to create an AFK Fish Farm that could still work even with these new restrictions. And with the release of 1.19, Raceworks immediately pounced on this opportunity, creating a new AFK Fish Farm design.
With the release of 1.19 in the Skulk sensor, Raceworks has invented a new AFK fish farm with enough water to get enchantments. Now, I could explain it. I can't explain it, just watch this video.
Huh? What do you mean you don't understand it? At least try to explain it. Camman 18? More like Scamman 18? Well, got him! Wait, shit. Now I have to explain it, or else I'll look stupid. Well, more stupid than I already do. Raceworks' fish farm mainly relies on the sounds that a fishing rod makes. Specifically, the splashing sound it makes when it catches something. Due to treasure loot requiring 2 layers of nothing but air, the AFK fishing takes place underneath the water pot. You cast the fishing rod by holding the right click on this signboard, and then it uses a soul sand bubble column to push the bobber up to the surface. And when something gets caught, the Skulk sensor will detect the splashing sound, opening this iron trapdoor and automatically reeling in your fishing rod. It's basically a normal AFK fish farm, just with a more complicated way of opening the trapdoor. However, since the farm uses a bubble column, the bobber might make splashing sounds even if it hasn't caught anything. This is where these 2 boats come in. They keep the bobber in a perfect spot where it's above water but low enough that it makes no extra splashing sounds. And it does all of this without breaking the open water criteria, since boats don't count as blocks. If you understand this explanation, please subscribe, because it took me a full 2 hours to understand and explain it in a way that's easier to understand. Subscribe for more fun video essays like this that are easy to digest. Ray's design became the new AFK Fish Farm design moving forward, and it didn't take long for Mojang to shift targets. In 1.20, Mojang would indirectly patch this design by making it so that right-clicking signboards now edit the text on them, prompting Race to make a slightly different 1.20 version in response. But deep down, I think even Race knows that his design will eventually meet the same fate as every other design before it. And I've gotta say, all of this just makes me more confused, if anything. When I started researching this story, I was expecting some answers, but all I got was more questions. Like, they're putting a lot of effort for something this oddly specific. They have killed 4 versions of it on Java Edition, and they're completely banned in Bedrock Edition, with most designs getting patched instantly. There's so many things I don't understand, so many missing pieces, so many questions left unanswered. Who benefits from these changes? What makes something like an iron farm get a pass while fish farms get patched? Like, what criteria does Mojang look at to decide whether to nerf something? And the worst part of all of this is we'll never get a direct answer. It's not even like the Fireflies or Copperbob incident, where there's somewhat of a reason even if people don't agree with it, myself included. AFK Fish Farms will be targeted and continue to be targeted for reasons we'll never know. And the most frustrating part out of all of this is that it's completely pointless. I don't like the villager trading nerfs, but I at least understand them, because trading is something that players will very likely stumble upon. Fish farms, on the other hand, are something you have to look on YouTube or Google for. Little Timmy isn't going to be like, if I place 2 boats like this and I use a squawk sensor, I can fish without fishing. That doesn't happen! What frustrates me even more is the fact that Mojang isn't even solving the underlying issue.
I think Minecraft could add some area of skill to fishing, like what Stardew Valley does, but in its own Minecrafty way.
I think there's 2 things that make those other games better. One is that the actual fishing mechanic itself is just a little tiny bit deeper. And then 2 is the variety of things you can fish up. In Minecraft, you just have that one loot table, and it doesn't really change except for jungles, which have bamboo. One other thing that a lot of games do different when it comes to fishing is they'll actually assign a numerical value to the fish. You can even have like server fishing contests where everybody fishes for like an hour and the biggest cod wins or something. I think if Mojang wants us not to AFK Fish Farm, they need to make the game mechanic just a tiny bit more fleshed out.
Which brings me to the absolute irony of the 1.16 nerf. After an update where they reworked oceans to be more than natural swimming pools, after an update where they reworked villager trading, and in the same update where they reworked the nether, Mojang looked at fishing and said, should I rework this mechanic so that it's actually fun to play? No, it's the AFK fishers who are wrong. Rather than spending their time patching fish farms, it would have been so much more productive if Mojang reworked fishing to not be complete garbage. Even that aside, fish farms are the least of their worries. While they are busy policing fish farms, mod developers like Jelly Squid are busy cleaning up their spaghetti code. They poured countless hours into making Minecraft better for everyone. Their works are incredible, their contributions should never be forgotten, and their story is one that deserves to be heard. Which is why you should check out this video, where I talked about Jelly Squid and their full journey into creating one of the most important mods of Minecraft, Sodium. Huge thank you to my YouTube members, Spectere, TheFlyingFire, KSucuk, Persona Normal, Avelina Dyers, and TheGamingBrood. Thank you all.